Hey, so I'm going to try to do this before my laptop dies. This is for juniors starting on Friday, October 9th. So our task today is we are practicing annotating. Remember, annotating is responding to the text. This is in regards to The Girl Who Raised Pigeons, which is our new short story that you're going to start reading. You have it if you have a copy of the student reader. It's in there. It's the first story. If you don't have a copy of the student reader, I have an audio version here, and I have a PDF version here. What I would recommend doing, hopefully you have a version of Adobe that might let you mark up the PDF. If you don't have that version of Adobe, which is a software that lets you work on PDFs, in your journal, I would take notes on the text if you cannot PDF or if you cannot annotate the PDF. Of course, most likely you have the paper version and you are just able to write directly into the paper version. Tomorrow I'm free, so on Friday the 9th, I am free from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you need extra help getting caught up with anything we've done this year, if you're still working on your CER paragraph, make sure you get that in. And if you turn anything in late or you're concerned about a grade, email me, let me know, and I can take another look at those things. So here are some of our general strategies for annotating. We want to mark things, so like using a star for your big main ideas, things you think are important, use a star. Things that stand out, you can underline. Keywords, details, if you think a quote is like really good, you're like, ooh, underline that. Circle things that are confusing, put question marks when you have a question, but also important to write out the question, because when you go back even the next day, you might not remember why you put a question mark by it. So let's see, then we have check marks. So if you think like, okay, yeah, I got it right. Wherever you feel like you should put a check mark, that's where you should put a check mark. One of my favorite things to use are little arrows that you kind of use to squiggle around the page to help connect your thoughts, your ideas with one another. Maybe you ask a question and it gets answered, right? And then you can go back and answer it. This text jumps around chronologically, so it jumps around in time. So using those arrows might actually be really helpful to help connect ideas when things are happening. Examples might not be super important until we start writing our essay about this. And remember, we have the prompts for the essay that, again, we'll probably review on Monday, because that's going to influence how we annotate. But we're also going to add a couple things just to start working those in now. One of our first assignments when we finish The Girl Who Raised Pigeons will be trying to retell the story in order. So anytime the story jumps through time, right? So it'll say like 5 years later or 10 years ago. Whenever it jumps through time, you're just going to mark that. You might circle the page, you might circle the line and just say like time jump. Anything that might be or lead to gentrification, I'd circle that and maybe put a big G next to it, because that's one of the prompts, right? And the third prompt is using a lens. So I'm going to mark anything that stands out. I think maybe I could use a critical lens to analyze it. This could be things about gender, race, psychology, Marxism, a Marxist lens, right? Looking at wealth distribution. So your job today on Friday is to look at lines, not pages, just lines. So it's like a page and a half, 1 through 30 of The Girl Who Raised Pigeons. So this text back up here. And we're going to practice annotating with these tools. So be ready to share a picture of your writing when we come back together on Monday, or your notes. You're going to have to prove in some way that you've been annotating. So if you're good to go, you can hop off the video right now. I'm going to try something though. I'm going to try annotating in real time just to show you what it can look like. So I'm going to do a new share. I'm going to go to this PDF. Okay, so we can see this is already kind of marked up. And if I make it so it's a pen, here's a pen, not what I'm looking for. I want to just doodle on it. So here's how I can doodle on it. No. There we go. So this should let me just kind of draw on the page. So right now, I guess we'll just start. So the first line is, her father would say years later that she had dreamed part of it, that she had never gone out through the kitchen window at 2 or 3 in the morning to visit the birds. So I'm gonna put, ooh, I don't wanna do that. I wanna just time jump. Or, yeah, I wanna write down that this is potentially a time jump. I'm not seeing how I could do that. How do I doodle on this? If I go edit. Okay, it's loading. That's something. So I click edit PDF again, and I go over here, let's drag that over there. This probably does not make for a good video, but we're learning together. Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer. It does not look like I can do that. I know I can highlight it. So we'll just highlight that. So boom, highlight that. Then normally I might type something like time jump, question mark, that she had never gone out the morning through the kitchen window at 2 or 3 in the morning to visit the birds. So for the she, I might write, who is that, right? That's gonna look really ugly because I'm trying to do this in a PDF. By that time in his life, he would have so many notions about himself set in concrete. So maybe I don't know that word notions. Maybe I'm gonna add a text right above this word notions, and I'm just gonna put in a question mark. What's a notion? And having always believed that he slept lightly, he would not want to think that a girl of 9 or 10 could walk by him at such an hour in the night without his waking and asking of the dark, who is it? What's the matter? So here, I'm also kind of confused about this. So I'm just gonna put another question mark here. So it sounds like the dad thinks he'd be waking up, but he doesn't know that she's waking up, right? So maybe I need to reread it. So then I'm gonna do that. I'd reread it. And then I would go down and continue marking until I just get down here to line 30. So practice marking that. If I figure this out, I'll just repost a video or post a filled out version of it. But an even better piece of advice is just come to my office hours from 9 to 11 tomorrow, just using our regular Zoom link. Hopefully that's somewhat helpful. The first part of the video, definitely more so. Good luck. I hope to hear from you soon. And if not, I'll see you on Monday.